Hello everybody, how are you? This is Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Tuesday, July 30th. It's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, sister. I hope all of you are doing well. This is a beautiful sunny day, and I thought I'd take the time to come back with you and do a kit parade. I know many of you enjoyed my whip parade, and some of you said now it's time for a kit parade, so let's do it, right? If you are new here, this is a channel primarily about my crafty life, centering on cross stitch and quilting and whatever I get myself into. And I so appreciate you stopping by, taking a time out of your busy day to check me out and check out what I have to share. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I also greatly appreciate you. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you would like to receive notification of when I upload new content, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. All right? Great. So how are you? I hope you're getting lots of stitching and quilting and crafting done. I am. Yesterday was a really lazy day. I didn't do much of anything, but I have been trying to catch up on things that I have been meaning to do, like organization. I know that totally goes against my moniker, the Disorderly Stitcher. But you know, that's the way I work. And now that I'm retired, I can get some of this done. So if you want to keep up a little bit more with what I'm doing and what I'm stitching and quilting, my Instagram address is down below, the Disorderly Stitcher. I also have a Facebook group, the Disorderly Stitcher. Really unique ideas, right? And I am going to say this again when it comes to the Facebook group. I need you to answer those questions. I need you to be as specific as possible. If you don't have an LNS, which is a local needle workshop, please let us know where you purchase your supplies from, or your, quilting supplies from. It doesn't matter. Okay? The goal behind these questions is to make sure that we're not letting in the bad people. I can't guarantee that we don't let in the bad people, but yes, because let's face it, we all know that there are some people out there who have way too much time on their hands, and they choose to drive the rest of us nuts. All right, so here we go. I have 2 crates of kitted projects. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Now, I had thought about unkitting them and putting the fabric back in a drawer and putting the threads back in the stash, but I don't know if I want to do that yet because I like knowing where they are. Does that make sense? So, yes. So the first one I'm going to show you, some of these are in bags, some of them are not. They're just in the bags that the chart is in, or in a plastic, what do they call those things? Binder sleeve thing. Binder sleeve? Sheet protector. There you go. See? Out of the classroom for 2 months, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. All right. So, first one I want to show you is in this bag that I made. I like it because it's made with a firmer foam. So, yeah. And it is Autumn is Joyful by Leela's Studio. Sorry for the glare. There we go. So this is I've had this for a while, and I've had it kitted for a while. And I know this is going to be a stitch along with the Huga Stitcher. I believe it starts August 1st. Am I going to start it August 1st? I have no idea because I have so many things on the go right now, which you saw in the whip parade. So it calls for Winter Brew by R&R Productions. That's what I'm doing it on, except mine is 36 count and it called for 40 count. So mine's going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, so I kitted it up. I know it says start date, but I put the kit date. And I am using the DMC because that's what it calls for. So here are all the beautiful threads. I love that. I don't know what that is, but I love that one. $3.50. So we'll do the twist. There we go. And here's the 36 count Winter Brew. I love it. And I pulled out a piece of floss bling that I made that has a girl. Can you see that? With a pumpkin. Because pumpkins are cool. I love pumpkins. So, that is Autumn is Joyful. That's on the list. They're all on the list. When that list is actually looked at, I mean, I look at it. Doesn't mean I actually do it. Okay, so the next one I have all kitted up finally is Signing the Constitution. It is a heaven and earth design, which means it is full coverage. I'm going to try and insert a picture here because, you know, being the history teacher nerd that I am. Yes. 89 threads later. Some of them are multiple numbers of skeins. I think I showed this before. I have not started it yet. I'm a little intimidated, and all the extra flosses are in here in my bluey bag. So, yeah. Someday. And I keep it in my Muppet bag because I think I'm nuts to do this. Oops, I forgot to put this back in my fall creaker. I think that's what everybody's calling it. Okie doke. Excuse me, 2 of them fell on the floor. All right, this is in my strawberry bag. Since it's my strawberry bag, you got to have a strawberry chart. Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird. It's one of the, I think, 6 or 7 stitches that they developed around the Beatles. And a friend of mine, Deborah, and I were Zooming one night and decided we were going to start this August 1st. And then at the Midsummer Stitch that was created by Lindy Stitches. Thank you very much, Steph. We decided that we were going to create a Instagram chat and a Instagram hashtag, and we were going to all start it and break it down into 12 pieces. So I am stitching it on. It calls for Confederate Gray, which is now just known as gray. So there we go. And the picture's not that great, but I divided it into 12 pieces. So on August 1st, we will start up here. Okay. There we go. Now, if you are interested in joining us, please let me know. I will be happy to add you to the group if you would like to join us. I know it's a little bit, time is a little bit tight because August 1st is just in a couple of days, but there's no rules. There you go. All right, you get the assignment. You have, in fact, they have the assignments up front. They've seen the picture. This is how we're going to do it. There you go. The goal is to have fun. All right. So let me know if you want to be a part of that. Okie doke. The next one is His Eyes on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. I have seen this in a smaller format. I don't know if they like republished it then in a larger format. I'm kind of glad I have the larger format. It calls for doubloon by Picture This Plus, 28 count. I am doing mine on 36 count doubloon with the call for Gentle Arts and Weeks. One of these days, it's going to be started. So there's that. This is going to be a bed sheet. You know? If I'm going too fast and you need to see this again, you know, message me and I'll be glad to get back with you. Also, you know, I don't know if you know, but you can change the speed of the video as you watch. There's a speed thing down at the bottom underneath the picture, underneath the projection box. So you can slow it down if you want to. Guess where I learned that from? 14-year-old 8th graders. How do you like that? Yes. All right. This was in a portfolio I bought off the Stash Unload group. I do not remember the woman's name. I liked it because it was small and it was red, and you know, let's support each other. Why not? This is how she makes them. I'm not much of a thread bed user, but this may get used more than usual because this is being done in one color on one color. This is Sampler True Love. And I got that off of Etsy. It was created by Happy Mood Point Cross Stitch. I am doing it on a piece of 40 count flamenco by Color and Cotton. I bought this on the Stash Unload group. You know how much I love red. So I am reversing the colors. And I decided this would be a great opportunity to try Vicki Clayton silks, which come on a spool. So there we go. I've heard wonderful things about Vicki Clayton silks. I just have not started working with it yet. So there we go. This one is kept in my spool bag. I feel like I showed you these already. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, this is one of the oldest ones I have. I bought this one when we went to Virginia right after, you know, things started to let up after the pandemic. I went to Quilter Station in Waynesboro, Virginia. And it is by Little House Needleworks. And it is called the Elizabeth Hancock Sampler. Now, it calls for 30 count Weeks Dye Works straw. There is Belle Soie or the overdyed cotton conversion or DMC. This is one of those that, okay, I'll do it exactly like they called for it. This is going to be a bed sheet, but I'm using the overdyed cottons. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days. You know, I'm thinking about some of these bigger projects. Like, you know, you really should take all of these big ones and divide them up into chunks. And just, you know, give them a few days each month and get some work done on them. Okie doke. This one is a 5-part series that was put out by Erica Michaels. It is, where's ABC? I don't know because I can't. Anyway, here's part 2. It's the Quilting ABC. So each block is a different quilt block design. And so there's 5 of them. Oh, here it is. This is part 4. So you can see each month you got a different part. Now it calls for 36 count vanilla bean by R&R. The total size is 263 by 223. I know that Jenny from the Bougie Stitchers is working on this. And again, this is one of those slowly but surely. I chose to pull out Love Letter by Color and Cotton. Now, these are, I'm guessing, the, not color, yeah, the threads for the first part. So, one of these days. Love Letter has kind of a pinkish tone. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to use the fabric in my stash so that I don't have to go and buy, the called for. And a generous viewer sent me these Amazon bags. So that's where it is right now. Will that change? I have no idea. Okay. Next one is in a kitty bag. I love it because, cats are awesome. And the lining has mice because why not? This is a Mirabilia. Again, I have not started it yet. This is Lady Justice. Someday. Haven't even pulled out what I'm supposed to use, what I'm supposed to do on the other one. It calls for 32 count Graceful Gray by Witchold. And I did go and I bought that. So there's the Graceful Gray. And I bought all the threads and the beads and the Krynic. And there we go. Again, someday. And this is why I feel like I should put these threads back in the drawer. The someday on this one, I vowed not to start this Mirabilia until the other one is done. Why I'm avoiding the other one, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I enjoy working on it, but why am I avoiding it? All right, this one is in my red, white, and blue quilt block bag that I made. And it is Faith of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. I'm doing it on Color and Cotton, Milk and Tea, 36 counts with a conversion. So I converted some of it to Color and Cotton and some of it to I converted the Valdani because I don't have Valdani, and some of it I changed to Classic Colorworks. So Faith of the Heart is going to be a stitch along with Jane from the Boss Stitchers. If you would like to jump on board with us, that would be awesome. I think we're going to start August 1st. Why not? What's another August 1st start, right? So here we go. And it looks like that. So if you want to jump on board with that, I don't know if we've made up a hashtag. If we have, I will post it. Okay. So that's Faith of the Heart. The next one is My Long Dog by Long Dog. That was smart. It is Fish and Ships. Okay. I had the hardest time finding this because I kept putting in chips. But this was inspired by Laura from Stitching by the Shore. And I am doing it on a piece of 36 count Wind Song by Grace Notes. And I am using DMC Flosh, which is a little thicker than regular DMC. So again, I'm anxious to start that one. We'll see. I guess you got to put the chart back in the bag. Yeah. How many of you are doing the Olympic stitch thing? So, stitch along, put out by Naptime Stitcher. I had really good intentions. My intentions went out the window. Don't ask me why. Oh, there's an empty bag. And there's another empty bag, and another empty bag, and another empty bag, and another empty bag, and another empty bag. I have empty bags, people. All right. Is this an empty bag? That's an empty bag. I don't have as many as I thought because this one's mostly empty bags. How's that? Okay, the next one is in my sunflower bag by Dot Dot Goose. This is Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street. This one was a stitch along proposed by Christine from Hollis Hands Creates. It was to be done between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Yeah, that didn't happen. But I love Plum Street, and I love me and my history nerd. And I also went and I bought the Toasted Mallow from Number 12 Stitch Co. that Christine is using. I love it. It's so pretty. This comes from Australia, so be prepared. And I splurged and I got the needlepoint silks. So I need to put those in floss away bags. So if you want to jump on that, please do. All right. The next three were, excuse me for bending over and being out of camera. The next three were exclusives put out by Twin Peaks Primitives. I have not touched any of these. I've had them for a year or so or more. The first one is E Pluribus Unum. I should have named myself like the History Stitcher or something like that. But it looks like this. I love the eagle. It does not say what it calls for, but the fabric, oh, here we go. It's an XJU fabric, summer khaki, 32 count. And it's all XJU fabrics. In fact, I haven't even undone them yet. That tells you how, yeah, we got floss cards, and we got a cool needle minder, and yeah. I don't care for 32 count, but am I going to give it up just because 32 count's not my thing? Probably not, because I paid for the fabric. The next one is America. And again, it was an exclusive. I don't know if it was the history part that drew me in, or the quilt blocks, or the sheep. I love those sheep. It is DMC, I believe. Maybe, yeah. This is a piece of 32 count Dirty Brown by XJU Designs, XJU. And you can see how far I've gotten. I haven't even unpacked the DMC. What can I say, people? What can I say? The last one is Home of the Brave. Now, let me pull the pattern out. There is one part of this pattern that that bothers me. I don't want to say I don't like it, but it bothers me. And it's the way the flag is waving. When I look at it in the camera, it looks like it's waving the correct way, but you can tell everything's backwards. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can redo that and have it go the other way, but that would mean losing the big tree and moving the hot air balloon. I don't know if I could put the small tree where the big tree, I don't know. It's going to be a lot of work to turn that flag around. Do I just stitch it the way it is? What would you do? Would you be bothered with switching that flag around, or would you just do it the way it's done? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to put you on pause for a minute so that I can put all these back in the crate and I can switch crates. So hold please. All right, I am back. Half an hour. There we go. All right, so the ones coming up are all the ones that I have kitted either with floss and fabric or just fabric, because I keep the fabric with the chart if I get the fabric with the chart, and to me that's sort of half kitted and we're going with it. Okay. All right, I also don't have these in bags, so there we go. All right, so the first one, and I don't know why this is turned around, so excuse the rattling, is Halloween Quaker. I've had this threads and fabric for ages. Don't ask me why. Everybody knows what it looks like. Yeah. Okay. I did find, maybe that's why I have that piece there. I did find something on Leela Studio's website that there was a addition or correction to the chart. So if you have the chart, you might want to go in there and look at it. It's for page 9. I just printed it and stuck it in the chart. I bought the called for murky, and I pulled the called for Classic Colorworks. I dropped one. I love that orange. Now this is a there's a Halloween stitch along for Chris the Camping Stitcher's birthday that I believe is starting, has started or is starting. I always get her birthday mixed up because I can't remember if it's the 13th or the 31st. So Chris, I apologize, but Halloween Quaker. Okay, the next one was one I bought off of Stash Unloading. It is Midnight Crossing Dragonfly Sampler. And there's a piece gray in here. It looks like an even weave, 28 count Mercedes Jaslyn by Colorscapes. I've never heard of them. It's very, very soft. And I have, in fact, this is how old this kit is. It's Crescent Colorworks. Smoke. But, you know, this goes along with Monochromatic Monday. I'll tell you what, I thought about doing a Monochromatic Monday, and I had it in the back of my head, and lo and behold, Laura, hi Laura, from Stitching by the Shore has suggested the same thing. So go check her out. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more on my next regular floss tube. So the cool thing about monochromatic is that you just stitch. You don't have to worry about changing colors. You just, it's very relaxing. At least I find it relaxing. Okay? All right. The next one I have kitted with at least the floss because I haven't decided about the fabric yet is the Scarlet House Emma Mills. See, and I consider these kits because they all go together. It calls for a 40 count vintage lentil from Lakeside, and I know how hard it is to find Lakeside. So I want to see if I can pull something comparable. And here are the called for Gentle Arts and Weeks. I love the soft colors. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? So yeah, that was on my list. Some of these small ones I should just start. This is another one that I have the threads for. I do not have the fabric for. It calls for Hemingway, 40 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax. I know Rachel's behind and dying because she did the fabric for the latest exclusive in the homespun, or the home, what are they? Homespun Needlework and Sampler group on Facebook. So she's trying to get that done. But anyway, I love the pink. And again, I splurged and I went needlepoint silk. I should just start that. It looks simple. The next one is by Dawn Frisk. This one I saw on Welcome Stitchery's Flosstube. I believe this is the one that Steph, the New England Stitcher, is doing with some friends. There, it's like a round robin. Of course, I fell in love with it because it's red. It calls for a 32 count linen. I pulled a piece of 32 count Bestitch Me that I had gotten when I first started her club, and then I switched to 36, but since I have it, I'm going to use it. And I splurged on the NPI needlepoint silks. It's on my list, people. On my list. I have a list a mile long. I have a room full of fabric. Next is, I think I may have taken, oh nope, fabric's still in there. This is Winter Moon. It was an exclusive from Country Sampler. I bit the bullet on it. Still haven't decided if I'm going to put the rabbit on the roof. I don't understand the purpose of the rabbit. So yeah. This was part of a series she did. She did a moon chart for each season. So, sorry, they're all going to fall. So it's a combination of Classic Colorworks, DMC, and Weeks. And the fabric is, I don't know. It's either 36 or 40. But it's sort of a grayish color, grayish taupey color. Yeah. It came that way. So it's either 36 or 40. I don't know. Probably 36, knowing me. It's all together in a bag. Now it's not because I pulled it out. So I'll have to put it back together later. The next one I have is Spring Green Pears by Annie Bees. I do have the other two pairs. And I purchased the green, I don't know if it's an even weave or a linen. 36 count agave linen from Zweigart. And I also bought the dinky dye. So, one of these days. One of these days. Of course, putting that together as a pair. Hold on. Okay, the next one I have, I bought, because, you know, you got to collect them all, right? So I purchased Patriotic Tiny Town. And then I went and purchased the piece of 36 count. I purchased 36 count feldspar instead of 32, but there we go. One of these days. I don't know why I just don't pull these out. Why? 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 And I take these out intending to start them, and then I lose the bags that they come in. So then I do believe, does anybody else save their plastic bags when they take the charts out? I do. And I just threw away a whole bunch of them. And I realized that like my map of Hawkhorn Hollow, I have in a binder, in a sheet protector, but I don't have it in the bag. So I gotta find one. Okay, this was one I believe I got off of the Stash Unload. It's a Chessie and Me, Martha Jefferson. And I love that red house. And it came with a piece of 36 count baked clay by Fox and Rabbit. I have not pulled the threads yet. It's Classic Colorworks and Weeks. My Classic Colorworks and my Weeks are all spread out, which is why I think I should put them all back into circulation. This is one, again, I don't know where I got it. I probably just ordered it because, let's face it, it's red. It's Mary Wood by Scattered Seed. I obviously intended to do something with it because I put the threads on floss drops that someone gave me, probably at StitchCon. I have no idea. It says 36 count Dixie Sampler apple butter. I don't know what I pulled. And this is before I was really focusing on what I pulled. So is this a given? I don't know. No idea. Oh, people. This is one that I know is being stitched as a stitch along. It is Golden Delicious by the Artsy Housewife. There's this version, and then there's a version done on darker fabric. And this was a Roxy Floss Co. Kit or chart with threads. So I bought the Roxy Floss Co. Threads. I want to try them out. And I'm doing it on a piece of 40 count vintage homespun. Now again, I don't know if that's going to be a given. I just pulled it. And so yeah, here you go. See, I put it in one of these jiggy wads, and I have no idea where the little bag is for the chart. This is another exclusive from the Homespun Needlework Sampler group on Facebook. If you're not a member of that group and you really like samplers and you know, like Stacy Nash, Scarlet House, things like that, and you'd be interested in exclusives, join the group. It's a great group. This is the one that I know they're waiting on linen for, from Rachel at Needle and Flax. She's a one-woman show, so we have to be really patient. But this is, isn't that cool? I love the bird. I love the red. This is Scarlet House, and it is Sarah A. Sanderson, 1872. I purchased 36 count Valley Forge by Needle and Flax, and I also splurged on the silk, probably because of the red. On the list, yes. People, what am I doing this for? This is one I purchased from the Wishing Thorn. It's Fiona Rutherford Sampler, 1866. I did not know when because you know, I don't read things. It is stitched over 1. So it's only going to be 4 inches by about 5 3/4. I can do this, right? It calls for DMC, but I might see if I can do a silk conversion, since I can probably get 4 full crosses better with DMC. Because it says it's on a piece of 32. Again, I don't know what I pulled. I didn't write it down. What do you want me to do? Right? Okay, I think this is, this was another one I bought, I believe, as a kit. Oh, this is American Welcome. So yes, I bought the kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods. She had a few left, and when it posted on Instagram, I grabbed it. No, I haven't started it. Everybody has started it, or most everybody, if you're part of the everybody, and you've shown it. I love it. It's a piece of 36 count Old Amana with the called floor color and cotton and DMC. All right. Lucy Barber by Hands Across the Sea. This was an exclusive from, I believe, Traditional Stitches. Here, I'll pull the book out. Whoops, something just went on the floor. Again, it's the red. I did not buy the fabric, unless I bought the fabric and I put it back into circulation. But I did buy the silks, the 103. I've never used these. I'm anxious to. Yes, excuse me, something fell on the floor. Everything's going to fall on the floor. There we go. All right. Next. I know why I feel like I just showed these to you, because I had them out and I was cataloging them on my spreadsheet. This is Midnight Watch by Blackbird. Now, saw somebody do this on purple. And I was part of the Fox and Rabbit Club from Gowron Stitching for a while, and I got a piece of purple, and I'd never used purple. So I'm thinking I'm going to use the purple. And I pulled the threads, or I ordered the threads, or I had the threads. No, most likely I ordered the threads. So anyway, I'm not much of a Halloween stitcher, but there you go. This is the Drawn Thread Sunnyside Sampler. I believe I saw this on Just Keep Stitching. Pam was working on it. So I jumped on the Drawn Thread website and I purchased it. It was, I believe, a kit, and she sends the amount of thread that you need. So there you go. It's needlepoint silk. Yes. Oh, so many things, so little time. This was a stitch along that I think Missy from Two Needles Pulling Thread was doing with some friends, and I was like, oh yeah, I got that one, let's do it. Did I start it? No. This is Feast of Friendship by Blackbird. And I pulled, again, I don't have it in anything, I pulled a piece of Dusty Road by Seraphim that I had, because, you know, I can. And there's all the threads. All right. ES Spot Motif Sampler. Have not started it yet. Pulled something for it. That might be Light Espresso by R&R. I have no idea. I have no idea what count it is. It calls for 32. No idea, people. No idea. But I have the threads. All weeks. One of these days I'm going to have to count threads and figure out what count these fabrics are. This is Praiseworthy Stitches Grace. I love the purple. Two of my daughters love purple. Bought them all. Did not purchase the fabric. Does not tell me. It probably does, but I have no idea. Model frame by, does not say. Stitch count, symbols, does not say, or I can't find it. Oh, 32 count vintage homespun by Lakeside. I will probably do 36. This is one I ordered from Etsy, Willow Hill Samplings. I bought this one when I bought the blue Quaker, the Bluebird Quaker. It is called Pennsylvania Dutch. and it calls for Cinnamon by Gentle Arts. I did buy that. And I believe it calls for, does not say, but I bought two, what are they called? Two of these things. Skeins. I heard you yelling at me. This is one I bought. Oh, this was a kit, an exclusive kit from Country Sampler. It is Bertha Mae Brown. It was part of the Threads of History group by Chessie and me. I just thought those pinks were pretty. I'm not a pink person. But it's done on 36 count old linen by Fiber on a Whim, and came with the called for threads, weeks, and classic color works. It's kind of dark, but it should be interesting. Should be interesting. Should be, whenever it's done, right? All right. Savior's Praise. I jumped on this bandwagon when Angela at Happy Little Stitch Shop was going to do a stitch along. And I bought the 40 count linen Belfast Platinum by, I don't know who that is. And yeah, do I have the threads pulled? No. I don't want to lose the fabric for it. So that's why it's in there. God, I hope I live forever. American Flag by Erin Elizabeth. And I bought the Dinky Dyes. I got this at Steel City Stitch Retreat. It calls for a 32 count vintage smoky white. I will probably do mine on 36. I don't have a lot of white fabric. So there's that. Winter is Past. This was going to be a stitch along with a friend of mine, Quilter Nell, I believe. She started it. I did not. There they are. And the floss spling, one of my first attempts. Not very good because it's cloudy. Peanuts. Put it back in the sheet protector. This is another one that was part of the Threads of History. This is Lydia R. Cohagen by Blackbird. This one I should just do because look at how simple it is. And I'm sure this is the called for linen and threads. 36 count, I don't know what, Gast and Weeks. You see that? "36 count oatmeal" by Fiber on a Whim. That one may just stay out. I should just do this and get it done. This is one I purchased off of the Stash Unload group. Came with a you can tell how old it is because it has a photograph. This is Elizabeth Ann Adams by Wild Heart Design. And again, I have no idea what fabric this is. It's very stiff, whatever it is. I'll have to count the threads. That was when I think I bought that one during the pandemic when, you know, you had to have it all because you didn't know how long you were going to be shut inside. Sorry, I'm being attacked by Kitted Projects. All right, this is one that I had originally wanted to do with Chris the Camping Stitcher. She finished hers. I did not start it. This is Mary Bell by Lori Rippey. Again, it's red. 36 count fabric with different DMCs. It calls for anchor, but I will do the DMC, and I don't know why, but this is all I pulled was the 2 skeins of 8/15, and I have a piece of 36 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. It calls for Wren by Picture This Plus. Am I dumb or am I dumb? I feel like Willem Dafoe. If you've been watching the Olympics, he has a commercial for, is it Nike? You know, winning isn't for everyone. Am I a bad person? No, I'm just dumb, right? Okay, this is another one by Lori Rippey from Homespun Primitives. It is Liberty, Sweet Liberty Sampler. Again, there goes my nerdiness. It's called for 36 count Brea by Needle and Flax. And I believe that's what that is. I took the label off because I'm stupid. It is 36 count. No, again, I didn't pull the threads, but I kept the fabric with the chart. How many of you do that? How many of you get fabric for the chart and then you put it away and you sort of look at it and you can hear it going, hello, stitch me. Here's another kit I purchased. I believe I purchased this, whoops, straight from Fox and Rabbit. I don't know. This is Ann Harper, 1839. Something about the yellows intrigued me and those yellow birds. So this calls for Dust Bunny 36 count by Fox and Rabbit and called for weeks and 1 DMC, which came with it. I'll pick that up later. The DMC fell on the floor. DMC overboard. Where am I going to put that? I'll put that on the floor with it so I know. Okie doke. Here's another Fox and Rabbit. This one I fell in love with because of the colors. That I know. It's Elizabeth Broadhead, 1833. I love that tealy blue. No idea what it is. What would it be? Pebble Beach? Baking Tin? Arango Emerald? I have no idea. But I believe that was an exclusive. And I have from the Stitching Shop, Denver, Colorado. It's Fox. Yeah, it was an exclusive because I have Floss Bling, which now is on the floor. Sorry. And there's the threads. That cool tealy color is Weeks Dye Works Teal Forest. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny little ring. I can't get it to flip. And there's the fabric, white clay. Throw that on the floor too. This is, oh, here she is. Florence Mary Dickinson. This is one of the first exclusives I purchased, and it was from Hobby House, and I purchased the silks, which are in here, 103s, and the fabric came with it, and I took the fabric out and I put it back in the stash. I have no idea why. Tell me why I do these things. I have no idea why. It calls for Creme Brulee by Tabby Cat. I know Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter just finished hers. It is gorgeous. Go check it out. If you don't follow them already, give them a watch. This is, again, I don't do a lot of Halloween, but I fell in love with this when I saw Olivia's from Pumpkin Hollow Quilt. Sorry for all the rattling, but they're in their bags. This is Spooky Countdown by Primitive Hair. Okay. And it calls for she used her own Old Salem. Olivia used, and I don't have it written down, but again, it's a 32 count. I'd have to go check it out. If I can check it out and find it, I will put it down below or put it here. In fact, I did go find it out because I wanted to find out for my spreadsheet. So, yeah. The cool thing about that one is if you play your cards right, you could probably get one motif done a day. I mean, that could be a cool October stitch, one motif a day. Yeah, great. Okay, this was another exclusive from the Homespun group. It is Mary Gypsum by Wild's Iris Snaps. This one sold like hotcakes. I do not know if she has released this. Again, it's red. It came with the, and I haven't opened it yet, it's Thornfield by Linen and Flax. And all of the, I'm not going to open the anyway, there's some of the threads. I love that red. What is that red, people? That red is Turkish red. And we got floss bling, and we got the whole 9 yards. I've seen a lot of people working on this. I've seen at least one person finish it on the floor. This is a Tisket a Tasket. This is one of the first ones I fell in love with. It is by Rosewood Manor. Again, I bought all the weeks. I bought it all at the same time because you use multiple skeins of the same color. I have a piece of 32 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. And it calls for 28, so mine would be a little bit smaller. I bought all the threads because I wanted them at the same time. I don't know if the dial, does that make a difference? I have no idea. This is one I showed you that I purchased off of the Stash Unload group. It is Scarlet House. It is Entwined Hearts. It calls for Aztec Red from Weeks Dye Works, but the gal had a piece of Roasted Pecan from Silk Weaver, and I think it'll do just fine. And she had 3 of the 4 colors except I think for the black coffee. I don't know, one of them. Yeah, black coffee. So yes, people. Okay, this is one that I fell in love with because it's red. Red Bunny Sampler by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitching. I did not pull red thread, but oh yeah, I did. I bought Belle Soie for this. I've never used Belle Soie. So I splurged. It's Tulip. It calls for 36 count Hawthorn by Needle and Flax. I pulled a piece of travertine from Color and Cotton that I got in my fabric club. Again, monochromatic. I should just do it. Do it. Like Nike, right? Do it. This is one that I fell in love with on Al Forrest's page. It is the Raven sampler. Again, monochromatic. It came with this white fabric. I don't know what it is. It's Monica, 36 count. And I bought their threads. They're over dyed. So it's a sort of a deep blue, has some black in it. Yes. On the list. I have a list a mile long. And I'm only 62, right? I can do this, right? Yes. I can do this. Here is a sampler for all seasons. This was also an exclusive at the time that I bought it. I believe it's been released by Scarlet House. It came with all of the threads and the fabric. And the model was stitched on Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. I count myself lucky to have these pieces of Needle and Flax. I love Rachel. She's so funny. But being a one-woman show has got to be hard. I know her kids help her, I think, some in the summer, but it's got to be hard. Okay, here's one. Hello from Liz Matthews. It is the Forest Sampler. I've never done any of her charts. Hope you can see that. And I purchased it with the needlepoint silks and a piece of 36 count. This says Zweigart. Oh, it's Sampler Khaki from XJU Designs. And sorry, they're not in a nice pile. Oops, went on the floor. Needlepoint silks. These were all nicely arranged in my crate. And the last one, last but not least, now I can lift up the crate. This is how big the crate is. I used to use these at school. Not anymore. The last one I have is, hopefully there's a picture of it, because all I have is the chart. I'll try and find a picture of it. Anyway, the chart comes in multiple pieces. Is this the 100 Owls? See, I don't even know what it is. I think it is the 100 Owls. And I bought their threads. And whatever that is. How do you like that? Whatever it is. Came in a box. Let me see if I can find a piece that has the title on it as I throw things on the floor again. This is how big these papers are. Yes, this is 100 Owls. So, I mean, here, I'll give you a quick flash and you can see it. Woo! Yeah, multiple pages. Multiple pages. All right, that was quick. I think that's it. I do believe. So, not bad, an hour. So, yes, that's my kits. That's how I do it. Like I said, there's some of those like Tisket to Tasket. I don't want to take the threads out because I bought them all at the same time. And some of them that were exclusives, I don't want to take them apart because they're pulled to be as the designer wanted it. And unless I really, 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 really don't like it, I'm leaving it that way. So, how many kits do you have? Are you a multiple kitter? How many whips do you have? Are you monogamous? I never, ever, 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 ever thought I would be anything but a monogamous stitcher. That's what I did in the 90s. 80s and 90s, was stitched on one and moved on. That's like Charles Emerson Winchester from MASH, if you remember MASH. He said, I do one thing at a time, I do it well, and I move on. Not anymore. Not anymore. So, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And again, if you like what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload new and interesting, I hope, content. I wish you the very best. And remember, stitch what you love what you stitch, and keep your stitches crossed. All right, take care. Bye-bye.